On this week's show, last 45 days of the bear market, Bitcoin price analysis, my weekly trading results, and the project valuation. Let's do this. Welcome to episode 17, where we are hopefully at the start of the end of the bear market, but more on this in a moment. This week I've managed some trades, which was great, and was doing really well until the value of my Bitcoin Ethereum pairs fell. In other news, Mrs. Womble ended up in hospital, work was a pain, and basically I've written the whole week off. More importantly, how can I say there are 43 days left on the bear market? Is this a psychic Womble? No, not really. What I have done is compared the last few cycles of the bear and the bull markets, and there is a pattern. The bottom indicators flashed weeks ago, and I calculated the days in between that indicator flashing and the start of the bull market for the last few cycles. Now, this isn't an exact science, but I thought it would be good, and perhaps a fun thing to do, to start the countdown. Here's the thing though, there is a period between the bear and the bull market in which FUD can be a major player. This can last up to 50 days or so, but we could see prices rising in 40 days. But the worst case scenario, it'll probably take another 90. The important thing, hey, it should be over soon. That said, there is a big black cloud over this. In previous cycles, the institutions were really not players as such. And of course right now the global economic position is somewhat gloomy. All of this will impact this prediction. But it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. So let's look at the possible price movements over the next week. So last week, which was the 10th of September, I forecast that the price would go up before falling back down again. And hey, look what happened, right? The week started well, and then from Wednesday onwards, those gains were all lost as the price went sub 20,000 again. The low of 19,200 is right on my support line. That's the big green bar at the bottom. And as of now, the price is attempting to break the 20,000 barrier again. Now there is room for this to happen, allowing the price to reach 21,600 or even 22,400, but it would have to break resistance at 2,400 first. In reality, we could probably see more sideways action, with the price bound between 21,000 and 19,600 for the rest of the week. But what about the longer term? Here the scenario is far more interesting. I read a few articles from so-called experts on the price expectations, but after pages of explanation, they are basically saying it could be anything from 10k to 25k in the coming months, until the bull run starts proper. Well, that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot, isn't it? But I do echo that sentiment. But looking at this chart, which is RSI based, we can see that we broke the downtrend earlier in September. That's the red line. The green line is now acting like support, and if this holds, then the price will continue to rise overall. If that RSI line drops below the green and red, then things start to look dire. But how dire? Well, let's zoom out and look at the order book. The green lines represent the orders from the order book on the left of the screen. The interesting line is the LL untouched, and this is the thicker green line. This is where the yearly low hit and bounced from, and importantly, this has not been touched since. This could act as a solid support for the coin moving forward. There are also a lot of orders at 15,000, but they're not a lot until we get all the way down to 10,000. This would not be good, but it's on the table, and I should respect that. But will it go that far? The answer is no one really knows. But the prudent Womble hedges his bets, so I've placed buys at $10,000 for Bitcoin. If the price doesn't hit that area, then that's brilliant. And if it does, it's also brilliant as I get more cheap Bitcoin. So let's move on to the trading this week. The week started well, with all my long orders closing out, apart from the one I opened in error about 10 days ago. I'm still holding this, but it is this trade that is putting my ROI down on the trading results. It's really a paper loss, as I am still holding Ethereum from that trade, and I'm stacking Ethereum, so it doesn't really matter. As you can see, I have a number of trades lined up to buy, and that sell at 0.083, representing that bad trade. In more detail, I have two additional trades where I bought at 0.0718 and another at 0.734. Both trades are for 0.150 ETH, and therefore were valued at around $180 each. The first trade has been set to sell at 0.0779, which are the green arrows, which would be around 6.15% profit. And the second trade, in this sort of tealy kind of arrow colour, is set to sell at 0.757, which is about 5.58% profit. Not bad if they sell, but of course the price is continuing to fall at this time. So looking at our funds on the spot market on Bybit, we see we have 0.063666130 Bitcoin, which it's valuing at £1,104. But to be fair, it's not the fiat value that's important here, it's the amount of Bitcoin we have. So with that said, let's look at our portfolio valuation for the week. But first, I want to look at this chart. And this is causing me a bit of a headache with some of the valuation. And it's the power of the pound versus the dollar. And I think anyone can look at that chart and see that, well, the pound isn't what it used to be. And currently we're at about 1.14. And this is making my valuation lower. But with that said, let's have a look. So on Coinbase, we have a total balance of 6,271. And we can see that our Ethereum is worth 2662. Bitcoin is worth 2268. Ethereum 2 is 351 and the graph is 39 and 88 pence. The keen eyed will have noticed the British pounds there of 999, and that is waiting for Bitcoin to hit $10,000, or in pounds around about 8,762. So although it's there in my portfolio, it's not available to trade. Let's quickly look at the staking. So here we have a value of 82.64 USD, and this is on Binance at the moment. Not much of a change there. And just out of interest, this is how the staking breaks down. The SHIB representing 30%, AXS another 30%, and then bolstered by KSM, BNB, Glimmer, and a pile of other little ones that I've got. I also still have my Wrap Luna, because I still can't work out to get rid of it, Kudos, and some Ethereum in another wallet, and that is valued at $138.73. Moving on to stocks and shares, nothing has really changed here. I haven't bought or sold anything for a little while, but we're currently at $51 at a loss, as the market was going down last week. I really need to look at these investments and potentially use my trading technique to see if we can trade these stocks and shares. I think that would be extremely interesting to do. So looking at the portfolio as a whole and how it's broken down, we can see that the majority is in Bitcoin and Ethereum, with trading coming up a close third. Tesla, Silver, and the S&P 500 are making up around 5 to 7%, and ETH2 around about 4%. So let's look at the results. In total, our trading portfolio is down minus 1.07% ROI on the trading fund itself, really because of that bad trade I did 10 days ago. Crypto is down 11.6%, stocks are down 1.53%, the fund value is down 5.96% on last week's value, and the total value is down £885 at 13,985. So looking at that from an ROI perspective, we can see that this week we're down minus 6.8%. Not too bad considering what was going on in the market, but disappointing that we've fallen down from the minus 0.9%. We will make that magic 0% and make some profits soon. So if you made it this far, congratulations, thank you very much. That's all from me this week, and as I always say, onward and upward.